I mean, the guy just continues to make history, that being Luka Doncic. Welcome into Mavericks today, Harrison Graham, Jeffrey Cooperstein. Coop, the first half 25-point triple-double in the history of the NBA, at least since they've been tracking stats of this level. I mean, the guy just continues to play at an unreal level as he's definitely chasing an MVP this year.
Yeah, 30, 10, and 10 in the first half. May have been 29, but 29 or 30 in the first half. It was pretty awesome to see, man. I mean, the Jazz were very shorthanded. They didn't have any of their main players, basically, and Luka took advantage of it. He even said on the postgame that we can't fuck around, and they didn't. He said it on air, and he later apologized for that. So that was funny. But, yeah, it was just another historic performance from Luka. He just keeps breaking records, keeps making history. This guy's just awesome, man. The Mavs, with their sixth 50-point win in franchise history and second against the Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, they dominated from start to finish, and yeah, Utah was very shorthanded, but this is what you need to do against shorthanded teams.
Absolutely.
You need to leave no doubt.
As Luka said.
And bury him. Don't F around. And did you see the little IG exchange, by the way, with him and Dorian Finney-Smith?
No, I didn't.
He replied to ESPN's post about it and said, blame @Dodo, whatever his handle is, and Finney-Smith laughed it off. So, in other words, sidetrack. Let's get Dorian back.
We want Dorian back in Dallas. He wants to be back in Dallas.
If you're watching, we know you want to come back. So let's make that happen. Hopefully the Nets keep losing so they can trade him. Kyrie Irving, he had a good game. He started out fast too, Coop, which he hasn't done that much this year. He's been more of a second half, fourth quarter type of performer. But it was good to see him get out to a hot start, and he went an efficient 11 to 16. Poured in 26 as well. I mean, if he can really start cooking here and be a consistent performer throughout these games, that would certainly be very beneficial.
Yeah, obviously, like we said, a low-pressure situation, but Kyrie was very efficient with his work. Didn't really have to do a whole lot. Kind of played off the ball most of the game, and just when his number was called, he obviously did it well. 11 of 16 from the field with 4 assists as well. And that's the role that Kyrie's going to play. He's going to be the Robin to Luka's Batman on most nights. Didn't need Kyrie to be great in the fourth quarter tonight. I don't even think he played in the fourth quarter.
I don't think either played.
Yeah, most guys didn't, and we'll get to the other guys in a moment. But yeah, I really like what I'm seeing from Kyrie. I think he's getting healthier and healthier as well. So that's something that the Mavs are really going to need down the stretch. And they come into a difficult stretch of the schedule. You have Minnesota and the Lakers coming up, so you got to have everyone on deck.
Yeah, this was a critical game, not only because Utah's been struggling, but because they were shorthanded and it was at home. This is one you needed to get, and they got. And I don't know, we're running out of adjectives, superlatives, whatever, when it comes to Derrick Jones Jr., Coop. Like, I keep thinking, okay, like, he's just going to fall off at some point. Like, he's never had a sustained success to this level.
And it hasn't happened.
In his career, and it hasn't happened. Back in the starting lineup, 4 or 5 from the field. I mean, he keeps having these nights where he's scoring double-digit points when he's taking less than 10 shots most nights. Look, so he's been very, very good.
Derrick Jones is doing what we all thought Josh Green was going to do and be a stalwart in this lineup.
I'd say even more.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best veteran minimum signing of the league, and I obviously haven't looked at every single one that's happened, but I'd wager to find you wouldn't find a better one than Derrick Jones right now. He's been so important to what this team is doing. And if the Mavs got another Derrick Jones, and we're going to talk about a guy that they could explore to fill that role in a minute, they would be in really, really good shape right now. Josh Green, we don't know what's going on with him. He's going to be out for at least another couple of weeks, I believe. And it's not good right now for Josh Green, but thank God Derrick Jones is here because otherwise we wouldn't know what's happening at the wing spot.
Yeah, and look, we'll see how things play out with Josh Green, but Derrick Jones has been an anomaly. I mean, to be honest, when they signed him, I remember when we talked about that signing, like, okay, very good athletic profile, dunk contest champion type of guy. I liked it because I thought in a pinch or on load management nights, he could at least give you something, whereas a guy like Theo Pinson was a great culture guy, but like he couldn't play at all. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah,
Derrick Jones, at least we knew was an elite athlete, but he's showing much more than athleticism, Coop. He's shooting the ball better than he ever has. He's defending well. It's been fun to watch.
This kind of reminds me, if you remember, probably almost 10 years ago now, when the Mavs signed Al-Farouq Aminu to a one-year deal.
It's a good call.
He got himself paid. He got a $28 million contract the year after. I kind of think that's what's happening right now with Derrick Jones. He's going to get paid this offseason.
Only 26.
And I wouldn't hate if it was the Mavericks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. Now, you look at the updated MVP odds. Nikola Jokic, the clear front runner early on. He's carrying the Nuggets without Jamal Murray right now. But Luka Doncic right there, number 2 in the latest betting odds, Coop. He kind of he didn't hit a slump, but his efficiency dipped there for a half dozen games or so. But I mean, after last night's game, he's averaging 32, 10, and 9, and he's shooting 50+% from the field, I believe.
Look, he's
40-ish from 3. I mean, he's been cooking, and I expect him to be a finalist and have a chance to win this
You and I both predicted that this was going to be the MVP year, that he was going to go off and put it all together. He's on track, man. I mean, he is unbelievable. For my money, one of the 3 best players on planet Earth right now. So he's been absolutely fantastic. We unlocked Luka headband Luka last night, by the way, too.
Headband Luka.
We have Dad Luka and we have headband Luka. So we'll see what else comes down the pipeline. But he's awesome.
By the way, we didn't know that Luka was going to become a dad when we were calling him for MVP a few months ago.
It might be a lock.
It might be the lock of the century. So plus 500 feels like good odds. Go take advantage of that if you're into that sort of thing. What do you guys think? Are you with us? Will Luka win the MVP? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Daddy Luka's taking home the MVP, barring an injury. That is my prediction. Now, go check out Factor. Luka's got the Factor. You guys should get Factor Meals, the number 1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service in America. Factor Meals, look, the holidays are here. It's hard to find time to go to the grocery store, and even when you do, it's always packed. And then you got to prepare, you got to cook, you got to clean up after. Not with Factor. They've got their chef-prepared meals delivered straight to your doorstep and ready to prepare on your end in just 2 minutes or less. Throw it in the microwave, you're good to go. If you don't have a microwave, you can choose their salad toppers, their protein shakes. They're all excellent. You can choose their calorie-conscious options. You can choose their protein plus options. Whatever you're trying to do with your diet, Factor's got it offered for you. Convenience, quick, delicious, healthy. Factor's got it all. Go check them out. FactorMeals.com/NBAChat50. That is FactorMeals.com/NBAChat50. Code NBAChat50 to get that 50% discount today. You mentioned this earlier, another Derrick Jones type. Well, how about Jonathan Isaac? Could he be someone Dallas targets at the trade deadline or perhaps even sooner, as he's not really playing much for Orlando, Coop? He's had an interesting journey, obviously missed basically 2 years and almost 3 with a couple of injuries. But when healthy, he's a really good kind of 3-4 hybrid. I think he's more of a stretch 4 at this point. And can defend multiple positions.
Yeah, and I kind of think he's on track to getting fully healthy. Shout out to our boy Jamal Mosley, by the way, who has Orlando at the top of the Eastern Conference. Jonathan Isaac, not really a big part of that team right now. Through 15 games, just averaging 6 points, 4.5 boards. Okay efficiency from the field. He's shooting awful from 3, though. I think it's 23% from 3. And getting you a block a game as well. His defending is really excellent, and I think that's what makes him intriguing to me.
He's so long, man.
Yeah, he's really long, and I agree with you that he's more of a stretch 4 as well. He has a partially guaranteed contract for this season and a non-guaranteed contract for next year. So if it didn't work out, you could just waive him in the offseason for no cap penalty. So he's an intriguing name to me. I think I like the idea of Isaac on this team the more that I look into it. And I'm not sure if the Magic are going to be willing to trade him, but he isn't a part of their main rotation right now. And I think that he really could help the Mavericks.
What's interesting about him, Coop, is I feel like Omax, his frame and projection is similar to Isaac, and could be even better, assuming he doesn't have the major injuries that Jonathan Isaac has. But for the here and now, I think Isaac could probably help you more than Omax, because it just feels like Omax isn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
He's playing some, but you can tell it's a little awkward, especially on the offensive end. And as good of a defender he is, there's one thing to lock people up one-on-one, but playing team defense in the NBA is a totally different deal.
And you have time to develop Omax as well if you get Isaac in here. If theoretically, let's say you keep Isaac for next year and you guarantee the rest of his contract. So Omax would be ready to really take that step in year 3 and step into this rotation as a key piece. Look, I think a trade for Isaac makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure the Magic are super interested. Here's kind of what I think the framework of a deal would look like. Rashawn Holmes and Josh Green to match up the money, and then some draft compensation their way. I don't know if this is enough to get it done with Orlando, but this is kind of what I was thinking.
Look, it would depend on how Orlando views Josh Green more than anything else, because Obviously, the Mavs paid Josh Green. They have to wait for a while to trade him, so this would have to be, I think, right up near the deadline. Yeah, I mean, look, the next couple of months are big for Josh Green. If he doesn't play that well, like, obviously his trade value goes down, but I also think the Mavs are more, like, open to trading him. So
buyer's remorse, man.
Yeah.
They should have waited. We all said it.
It's like they overcompensated for Brunson. It's
They were scared of another Brunson letting him leave for nothing.
But it's like that's bad evaluation.
Agreed.
Because if you watch Jalen Brunson, it's like, okay, you know this guy can score and he can create his own shot at minimum. He's just a little buried on the depth chart. He's not the most athletic. So, like, yeah, did either of us think he was going to be a 25-point All-Star? No, but we at least could see the upward trajectory. With Josh Green, it was like, okay, yeah, last year he took nice steps forward, but still in a small sample size in terms of like how many shots per game he took. I never felt like Josh Green was going to become an all-star, where I at least thought with Brunson there was a chance of that.
And Green's going to be a restricted free agent as well, so you could have waited and seen it. It's beating a dead horse at this point, but I think the Mavs are going to come to regret that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not like his contract completely buries you or something like that, but it's just like, it kind of feels like you paid him just because you had to make you felt like you had to make a decision when you actually didn't.
Exactly.
So that's the bummer there. But if this trade was on the table, would you guys accept it? Type A for accept or D for decline? I think I would, because Rashawn Holmes has given this team nothing. Second round picks, they're
who cares?
Dime a dozen.
You can also buy them, so
yeah, you can get one
really
back
like
in the
the player.
draft next year if someone was sitting there that you let. They did that with Jaden Hardy essentially a couple of years ago, and then Josh Green. It comes down to if you think Isaac can help you more right now than Josh Green, and I think him being able to play the 4 where the Mavs are really thin right now, and Green being more of a 2-3 where they're more deep. I think I would make this trade, man. Like, I think I'd pull the trigger. So let us know, A for accept or D for decline. If the Mavericks do make a move, we will have you covered here on this channel. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 26,000 subs as soon as possible. Get the MFFLs going in the chat. We'll see you soon.